All right, so it's been busy. There's been a lot going on, and to the point where you just realize you're pulling yourself in 100 different directions, and you can't even pick one direction that you probably should go in. So lots of different things. We're going to talk about them, and we'll break them down and do different things. But the one thing that I'm trying to really work on is my online presence. Okay, yes, I'm part of YouTube in different ways. I'm actually part of the YouTube partner program with one of my other channels. And everything I talk about, there's either going to be, like, if you're listening, it'll be in the description. So you could always go back and look at it in the description. But if you're watching, I'll throw some cards in there and some different things that we can kind of just see what's going on. But I've been in the YouTube partner program, but I'm trying to build outside of that. And the one way that I'm doing it right now is through Buy Me a Coffee. It's a great way to support creators in general. But if you're not familiar with Buy Me a Coffee, it's very similar to Patreon, just different ways of doing it. Different things involved with it, how you do it, how what's part of these uh, these platforms basically. So I go with Buy Me a Coffee, and um, initially it's kind of geared for my other channel, which is where I do a lot of my guitar instruction tutorials, that sort of thing, but I'm trying to expand outside of just YouTube, and this is one way to do it. So you can support me there as well. Um, and honestly, it's $3 to join. If you want to go over and check it out, what do you do there? I really put there whatever I'm not putting on YouTube for the most part, and things that maybe I don't want to put on YouTube, like cover songs, because I don't want to get dinged with copyright infringement. So I kind of put like the band stuff and rehearsal stuff and musical stuff there that I don't put on YouTube, but I put a lot of other things on there too, just kind of day-to-day stuff sometimes of what I'm doing. My dog Kona, who happens to be right here sitting next to me as I do this. So it's just another avenue for me to kind of just, create content. So the Buy Me a Coffee link is above. I think if there's a card there, it's in the description. You can go there and check it out. It's just a cool way to support the channel, and allows me to do things that you're not going to see on the YouTube side of the house, basically. And that'll work for anything that I'm doing. It doesn't just have to be this channel, or I should say my guitar channel, but just in general. So if you want to go over there and support, every little bit helps. It's $3 to join, honestly. And I think if you join for the year, it's even cheaper because of just you get a couple months for free, basically. Something you can do, check it out, all good. But I am part of the YouTube partner program, and we'll talk about that with my other channel, how things have changed, maybe just some work updates, some rush updates, the band in general, and just talk. I mean, and the podcast as well. Again, as I mentioned, whether you are watching this or whether you are listening to it, however you're doing it, I've made some changes. My goal was to do this once a week. That was part of the thing bringing me down. It was just way too much going on for that. So I'm going to try to do this once a month as far as the official podcast, the Flip Side with Richie Flip, and have an episode every month, and maybe just pick it apart for separate videos for YouTube. It's in flux, so we're going to figure that out. But just by talking about that, and one other thing I want to talk about as well, I'm writing it down, taking notes. Another thing I got to do, just kind of keep myself on task. Um, so that'll be one thing, just as far as the podcast and doing things like that. Talk about the band, talk about the ebook I've been working on, and actually and making time for myself. I just feel that even just making this podcast, the episodes once a month, and maybe occasionally a little bit more than that, it was just a relief. That the little things like that made a huge difference. Okay, and again, being in my 50s, we talk about this. I've talked about this in other videos. There's a lot going on in our lives, and I don't want to burn myself out. I'd rather just kind of pick and choose the low-hanging fruit, and then everything else will kind of come into play after that. So that's kind of where it gets us to where we are today, right? I wanted to talk about the YouTube Partner Program. Okay, if you've been following me at all, I've kind of talked about YouTube and how I use it and how I'm using it for monetization purposes, and being in the YouTube Partner Program with my other channel called Richie Flips Six String Fun. Okay, again, links above in the description. You could always go there and check it out. That channel for YouTube is where I am teaching guitar, doing song tutorials, just having fun with the shorts aspect of it. Another thing I want to talk about there is shorts as well when it comes to YouTube and how things are going to be changing. If you are in the program, or if you aren't in the program and looking to get in there, kind of get to it right now. YouTube announced that they are going to be changing the qualifications, the benchmarks basically, to get into the YouTube Partner Program. Let me walk you through my journey real quick here. I'll try to do as quick as I can. My first video, I think, was in February of 2020, okay, just before COVID. And if you go back and take a look at it, you know it was my first video. I'm sitting on a couch in my parents' sunroom down in Toms River, New Jersey, the beginning of a separation, divorce, and I was just kind of looking for something to do. And I was like, hey, I can do that. I see other people doing lessons and so on. I can do that. So that's kind of where that was the prime mover. That's what kind of got everything going here. And it's kind of gotten me to where I am right now. So I wanted to be part of the program. It took me about 2.5 years to get into the program. How did it take me 2.5 years? Well, I had to hit certain benchmarks. I had to hit 1,000 subscribers in conjunction with 4,000 hours of watch time. And that 4,000 hours of watch time it's a rolling 365 days. So it was 365 days from today to a year ago, and then tomorrow would be a year from. So I had to hit those numbers and be consistent. And I think it was eventually the end of June I hit that number, and I hit 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours. I then became eligible to start making, to be in the monetization program, basically YouTube partner program, through that ad revenue. But it also took me a while to get my first payout, because once you're in there, the threshold is you have to hit $100 and then they'll pay you out. It wasn't like every time you made money you're getting paid. So I had to wait till I got $100, kind of in my little YouTube or AdSense account, and then I get paid. And at first, it took me a while, because you make a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there. It's not like it ever goes away. You just have to hit the $100, and they'll pay you out, and then you start fresh again. I think they're paid out once a month. So if you weren't at that threshold for that month, it rolled over to the following month, and so on. And then if you were eligible, you got paid, and then it starts all over again, right? So, but YouTube has announced they're making some changes. And again, if you're my age and you're looking to get into the partner program for the first time, there's some big changes that are going to happen. Now, for me, I don't want to say I'm grandfathered in, but I'm in. I don't have to worry about anything right now. But with all this going on, I've got that bug now in the back of my head that you've got to stay consistent too, because I'm sure that if you weren't consistent, they might pull the plug on certain things, because they want to see people creating. They want to see people, being productive within their program. I get that. So what they're doing is, and again, I am no expert here, so you could always go online, find these things out, do a deeper dive, and get this detail. They have upped. Well, I think it's still going to be 1,000 subscribers, but instead of the 4,000 hours of watch time, it's got to be 8,000 hours of watch time. It's a big difference if you're looking to get into the program for the first time and you're just finding out about this maybe 6 months before it takes place, because as of February 1st of 2027 is when all that kicks in. So if you're in the program now or trying to get into the program, you've got to kind of kick it into high gear right now to get content, to get the viewers. It's going to be a haul, I think. It's not that it's not possible, but moving the goalpost a little further back now is going to make it a lot difficult and just different for a lot of other people. Again, I'm in there. However, I'm in there for the one channel only, which is, Six String Fun, Richie Flip Six String Fun. And if you want to go and check it out, it's at Six String Fun. Again, all that's going to be in the cards above or in the description. You can always go there and check it out. But I was hoping to get into the program with this channel, right? I'm still light years away, even if it was still 1,000 subscribers and 4,000, 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. I am light years away from that. To double it now, big difference. And also on the short side of the house, it was 10 million views for shorts within a 3-month or 90-day period, and they've upped that to 20 million views now. So that's I don't even worry about the shorts. I went back and I looked at some of the numbers for my shorts over the last couple, at least since I've been monetized. And I think in the whole time I've been there, it's been a couple $100 that I've made through my shorts. So shorts is a great way to get people to my channel, but it's not really getting me the monetization piece of it, which is fine. I'd rather be in the videos anyway, unless something blows up. So keep that in mind as well. These numbers are changing, and it's going to be really tough to get in there. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, it's certainly possible. We want to stay positive, and so that way you can get in there and still be a part of this. But it's definitely an uphill battle now. If you've just started, can you get the 1,000 and the 8,000 in 6 months now? That's kind of roughly where it puts us. It only you can decide, right? So those changes have come, so it's going to affect this channel. I've got another channel out. I've got a couple other channels out there doing different things. But I think the good thing out of this for me was that I realized, okay, let's put my time and effort into maybe some other things that I know I've got traction, and let's keep it going. And then maybe this channel here and the podcast is like something else I can continue to work on. And some of the other things I've got happening, just they may not be worth doing anymore. It's kind of just getting more bang for my buck, basically. So with this channel and with Six String Fun, I'm going to be putting a lot of my effort into there because I already know Six String Fun is out there. I think I've got about over 5,000 subscribers. I'm in the YouTube Partner Program. And as I mentioned in other videos, when you break down the percentages of people who have an account in YouTube, which is like 150 million if you really want to look at everything, versus those who've uploaded videos to the channel. So it's like 150 plus million that have some type of account. They could be dead accounts too or non-active. About 110 million who have actually uploaded some type of video to their channel. And then when you break that down to those who are in the YouTube Partner Program, it was like 5% if I remember correctly. So to be in that 5% out of 110 million, 150 million, it feels good knowing, wow, I've actually accomplished something here, right? So I plan on doing the same thing with this channel here with the flip side, trying to see what I can do here. But that's why I've also really wanted to make a push to the things outside of YouTube in general, different communities, kind of building from there. So that's where I am with at least this channel with Six String Fun, and it's put me in a position where with Six String Fun, with being so busy, and I was getting, it was like I just wanted to do nothing at one point. I would want to sit in my recliner back there, watch TV. This is, when you start figuring, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, and it was just overwhelming. But I've put, even a little while back, a couple months ago, I put myself on a schedule with YouTube. Record all my videos for lessons in one batch, like maybe once a month, bang out 7 or 8 videos, and then space them out over the course of the month. 1 to 2 videos. I mean, obviously, the more I want to do, I want to keep doing things, but I don't want it to be total crap either that I'm putting out there. So you got to find that, what was the line in Spinal Tap? There's a fine line between clever and stupid, right? So that's kind of where I've been lately. So like I said, a couple weeks ago, I did several videos. I've actually done several compilation videos where it's like today. As a matter of fact, today's the 16th, 15th, whatever it is, Sunday. And I scheduled one of my guitar lessons to come out. It was a song, The Wreckers by Rush, off the Clockwork Angels album. That was ready to go. It's already getting views, right? It's not going to get millions of views, but because it's a very niche type of audience I'm getting out there to. General music goes out to more people, whether it's Springsteen, Rush, guitars in general. That'll hit more people. So I really kind of pick and choose where it is. And maybe in the middle of the week, I'll do a compilation. Like I've been doing a lot of Springsteen compilation videos for videos that I've done, kind of calling these the acoustic sessions. And again, everything I'm talking about should be in the description or a card above where you can kind of just click on over and check it out.